Good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Healing Truth channel, Motivational Monday. All praises to the Most High Creator that we all woke up today, no matter what, we're still blessed. We still have breath, we still have life. So that's something to be constantly thankful for. Constantly show gratitude to Mother Nature, our Creator, and ourselves. We have to love ourselves. We have to know the power that we have within us. Um, Today, we're going to go into don't assume and depend on implications. And implications is the conclusion that can be drawn from something, although it is not explicitly stated. So that comes from just assuming. It's kind of like assumption. You see something, or like we're being taught certain things, or we see certain beliefs and things like that. Beliefs instead of knowing, and we just draw our own implications off of it. So we just kind of we don't go into the depth of it. We draw our own conclusion as to what we see because we're trained that way instead of going deeper. Um, I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to discuss tonight is the human mind, the human body, which is something right now is very imperative to us, especially my beautiful black people, um, my beautiful African people. This is something that we have to really, and once again, I'm not singling out any race of people, but with the things that's happening now, it's so important for us to pay attention to what's going on and how we're handling the things around us. How are we dealing with our spirit? How are we going about day to day trying to obtain knowledge, trying to really understand who we are? How much time are we really spending with ourselves? How much time are we really taking to understand the change in this world, and how the change in this world comes with the change within us? And in order for us to break out of the mental enslavement that we've been under for quite some time, we have to break away from being stuck in basically dependent on implications. Um, I want to talk about something because when I heard this story, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And this is just something, it just shows us where the world is going. And you can find this information on Scientific America. Look it up, Google it. It's on Scientific America. And I also watched someone else speak about it on one of, I believe it was Dr. Mumby's show. She spoke about them transplanting a pig heart into somebody else or something like that. But in September, late September of last year, they actually were successful with transplanting two kidneys into a human body, but the person was brain dead. And they literally, this is what we have to start understanding, because we don't really grasp the depth of things. And I'm going to go into more about that because, like I stated, don't assume and depend on implications. We have to start understanding what we see and go deeper. We have to, because it's a lot of things that's going on where a lot of us are being used as projects and experiments, and especially for the black people, the black African people, black African American people. We've been experimented on for so many years, and it breaks my heart to see that a lot of us still are not, we haven't snapped out of it. We're so controlled. We have stepped out of our power and given it to someone else, where they dictate and control how we should be, our health, our thoughts, our feelings, the fear, and things like that. And I'm just going to be honest, it's not just blacks and it's not just African Americans and African. It's everybody. Everybody is part of this experiment. At the end of the day, it's the people against these dark forces. But for me, I'm trying to wake my people up, the heavily melanated African Americans and my African blood people. Those are the ones I'm trying to wake up, because we've been in this enslavement for way too long, following beliefs that has nothing to do with us, being enslaved by um, certain spiritualities, and things that if you think about a lot of the things that we're doing, a lot of us have not gone far spiritually following these beliefs, because it's like we're trapped in la la land. Like you're believing in something outside of you. I speak about that a lot because I'm on that journey where I'm awake and aware of who I am, and I'm constantly gaining knowledge, and I'm constantly trying to, this is my job, this is what I feel my purpose is, and our purpose for a lot of us chosen who are awakened, who are not trying to mislead our people, because we've been misled. We're not even just going to go into religion today. We're just going to talk about the way we've been treated as an individual people. We're going to discuss the experiments that's been done, and a lot of the times what we don't understand, a lot of our older generations, like some of our parents, some of our grandparents, you would expect them to be in tune to say, no, we're not doing that, because this is what the Tuskegee experiment and this and that. We're not going to do that. But it's so heartbreaking, because they've grasped the hold of our older generation and have taken control of them, put them in so much fear. And these are a lot of people, and I'm being honest, who sit up in these churches. What are the churches are the churches not telling you who you are? Are they not teaching you ways to eat, how we can build up our immune system, how we can change our whole health by eating proper? This the type of things that needs to, not only just the spirituality of who you are, it's part, that's the whole package. Our ancestors were healthy beings. They were healthy individuals. They lived long time. They weren't being experimented on. They were wise. They were very spiritual. And they weren't following anybody outside of themselves or worshiping anything outside of themselves, because they knew who they were. We lose our power, and everything that comes with our power is our mindsets, our strength, our courage, our determination, the love, the unity, connecting with the most high creator, connecting with the spirits of your first ancestors, the ones who was on this planet doing the things they were supposed to be doing, who's still working through some of us, trying to penetrate still through some of us. It's time for us to save ourselves. We have to start opening our minds and really getting to the point where we want freedom. We want to break these chains of mental enslavement, because a lot of these things that's being put into action, it's being done for a reason. And they're going to take as many people down as they can. They don't care who goes down. But my beautiful melanated African Americans and my beautiful melanated African people, we have to be wise. It hurts my heart no more than to see the person that looked just like me on TV promoting, go get the whoop de whoop. Like it's disappointing, because at the end of the day, you know what's up with it. I guarantee you're not getting it. This is another thing we got to open our eyes through. We got to see through the BS, because we're not going to move forward if we don't see through the BS. We got to wise it up. Everything starts within yourself. We're expecting somebody to come save us. A lot of people expecting a savior and a messiah to come save them. That's not going to happen. You have to save yourself. You have to know that you have the power within yourself to manifest the things, anything that you want in your life. You should know that you have the power to say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to take that. I want to live a healthy life. I'll work on eating better. I'll work on changing my diet. there's a history. If you want to go on, if you guys want to go on to the Scientific American, look up that article and see, it was basically they called it pig kidneys transplant to human in milestone experiment. Human beings are being treated like experiments, and it's only going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and soon there's going to be other things changing if we don't create our own heaven within ourselves. Life is a challenge. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Because life is a challenge. I know it is because I go through my challenges daily. Nobody's perfect. But we're at the point in time where we have to stand together. And those who are stronger than others, it's time for us strong ones to try to help pick up the weak ones. Everybody's not going to wake up, but for those who we can try to touch, we got to try to touch y'all, because we're at the time where you don't realize you've won because you're still in a losing mindset. No matter what your position, and this is how I look at my life. No matter what position I'm in today, I don't let anybody say or judge or anything. You got to know within yourself how far you've come. If you've overcome, if you dropped a certain habit, if you've done something, stop doing something you used to do, it's baby steps. You're moving forward. Don't let anybody make you feel you got to start from here and jump all the way to a 100-meter yard dash from 0 to 100. It takes baby steps and it takes time. There's quality in time. But put your best foot forward. Use your mind. Break out of the traditional enslavement, the things that's been put on our people. We had the Project MK Ultra. I was watching a YouTube video and I was, watching um, some powerful content, and I was listening to them talk about how there's a lot of things set up that we're not aware of. There's Project MK Naomi, and that's a depopulation policy that has been in work since 1932. And you can look it up. Dark gun and poison. And that's what their motto was: dark gun and poison. You shoot it poison. So that's something you can look up, the Project MK Naomi. This is stuff that I didn't even know. The Most High Creator, is a lot of things come to me because I'm constantly seeking knowledge and things. I'm constantly seeking truth. I'm always wanting to know the truth because it pulls me out of the bondage of things, and it opens my eyes up to the reality of the world. Whether people want to go around and sing kumbaya and act like nothing's happening, it's not about walking around in fear and worried about what everything is going on. It's about protecting yourself. It's about gaining mental clarity. It's about preparing yourself spiritually so that you can live in your own heaven, because we are in hell. You create your own heaven. And some people, and I hate to say it, but a lot of people who stuck in these religions feeling that just heaven is just, we're going to just float to heaven, and Christ or Yahshua is going to come and save us, and we're just going to go up in heaven and all this stuff. We have to wake up. No one's coming to save you but yourself. We're our own saviors. We have to work on our own spirituality, the things that we manifest. Some people use the religion. I'm not, because religion and spirituality, and I get tongue tied. Religion and spirituality are two different things. Religions are beliefs and doctrines. Spirituality is something that comes within. It's within you. It's within the spirit. Our people I'm talking about heavily melanated black people. When I say black, I'm talking about all blacks, African Americans and Africans. My heavily melanated people, we are spiritual beings by nature anyway. So we should always be moving in spirit. We shouldn't let the fear and the things that they're constantly putting on, and then what affects, what's the worst thing about it, they starting to put babies on TV to promote this stuff. They're sick. Like, you literally got kids on here pushing this stuff. It's just sad. But the only way that that world won't affect you is if you don't live in that world. You create your own world within yourself. Walk in the spirit. Too many people are living by fear, waiting on Christ to return. So, and then, I can't do this, and I got, he died on the front cross for our sins, so I can't see no good in me. He died, so he took everything. He took all the sins and everything, so we can do whatever we want to do. You got pedos, you got all type of stuff going on, but you want to use Christ that who died on the cross for sins. Nobody wants to take accountability for the stuff that they've done. So basically, you can keep sinning, you can keep doing the same stuff, and just keep repenting. It doesn't make sense. It's about moral, it's about integrity, it's about truth, it's about honesty, it's about love. Integrity is powerful. Too many people are living off of this religious, as Dr. Mumby would say, psychosis. I put people names in here that I'm inspired by, because if I say something they say, I don't want to be taking credit for something somebody else said or something like that. And where I got the project MK Naomi, it was on one of Dr. Hagen's channels. So I watch to learn, so I can do my due diligence and spread the word as well to the people, so you can do your research. This is stuff that you can go and do your research on, instead of acting like not we want to deal with what's put in front of us and just move in fear and just bow down to this wicked system. If enough people say, no, I'm good, you got other countries, I think it's France, other countries are fighting back. They're not falling for that. It takes a group, it takes a village. And that's one thing about the black culture, about black people. We have to move in one mindset, one mind of a God. We all have to have the God mindset, because we are in the image of the Creator, of the Most High Creator. A lot of us are not using our God gene, knowing that you have the power within yourself to create any life that you want. I'm learning that. I'm still learning things. It's levels to this journey. There's hurdles. There's a lot of caves you got to go through. It's a lot of things you got to go through. There's pain in it. But we were built for this. That's where our spirituality come in. We give our power away by putting it in somebody else. We just bowing down to a whole nother individual, and it breaks my heart to see that some of our people really believe this stuff. Like, really, really trapped in this, believing that an individual shedded blood for your sins, so you don't have no accountability for anything you've done. A whole man did die for you and shedded blood, and the Most High Creator just said, that's the only person that I'm going to put here, that you can't get to me unless you go through him. That at some point we got to start snapping out of it and say, this just ain't sounding right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I had to get to that point. Once you wake up, you wake up. You start looking at it and listening to it like, yeah. And then, we got to understand where it come from, where it stemmed from, where it originated from, where the story came from, because nothing now is the way it was. This was a melanated earth. All of the stories you see now are not melanated people when it originally were. That's another thing. And a lot of stuff we can't believe. Just like a lot of our ancient artifacts they broke the nose off of mostly all of the ancient artifacts that's been discovered. I seen a video on that. I'm gonna put the YouTube channel in my link. I follow him. He's an African. and he's very knowledgeable. He's been inspiration to me. He has some jewels, real true knowledge that's definitely needed right now amongst the melanated people. We need the truth. It's enough of believing in what somebody told you, because a lot of this stuff has been changed over the years, over the decades, for thousands and thousands of years. Things have been changed. Don't you just want to be free? Don't you want to just work on yourself and do the things that you can do, that you know you can do, instead of sitting around waiting for somebody to save you? And then what's what a it's what the worst part to me is when our people are constantly pushing this agenda, pushing this narrative, pushing this belief, pushing you to believe in it, instead of being true to themselves. Be true to yourself no matter what. It's okay to walk away from situations then I look at it, I don't judge anybody, because everybody has their own mind. We create our own reality. So some people are really trapped in that reality. Some people are a prisoner of their own mind. And there's nothing you can do to penetrate it. You have some people that just don't want to break away out of fear, out of detachment issues, because some people have issues where they just have a hard time letting things go, and they feel living in fear. If I let this go, then this is going to happen to me, because it's been drilled in my head. What if, instead of saying I'm going to take the time to find out who I am, because that's where it starts. That's where I had to start. I had to dig deep, and I'm still digging. There's still more things I'm digging on. Once you start finding out your history of who you are, it changes the game, because that's all you're going to keep striving for. More. You hold your head up, you look outside of the box. You're not in this big old globe, like them little igloo, them little globes that you shake up, because that's how I think the world is anyway. We in a globe. You take it, you shake it up, and it's just like a whole little world in there, in this snow and all that, and you just shake it up. That's how we are right now. We are in a dome. We're isolated. We're in a dome. But a lot of us are walking around with that mindset. We can't step outside of that, because we've been trained and it's been impacted in our brains where we don't move outside of that. Like, if you have a conversation with a lot of people who, I'm not even going to say in the truth, I'm just going to say in the enlightenment, you're not no longer you're no longer a prisoner of your own mind. You are no longer a slave. You've broken out of that mindset. Some people you talk to, and you say, I notice, like, and this is like, I don't know if it's for anybody else, but I know for a lot of chosen, you go through this. Like, that's why I don't really conversate with, and I'm being honest, the only people I can really converse with for the most part, about life and enlightenment, are my kids and one of my cousins. Anybody else, it goes in one, they like, huh? It's kind of, and it's so unfortunate. Some people just don't get it. Some people are really trapped in their a mindset where they just don't get it. And it shows you how much this world have consumed not only your mind but your spirit, because everything is spiritual. We're spiritual beings, so it starts with our spirit. We've allowed certain things to just take a hold of our spirit. Some people of our family members, some people are like zombies right now. They don't know if they're coming or going. They're like entrapped in these things. But there's a couple things I want you guys to, you can check into and understand what's going on, because this is something they've been planning, and it's a lot of stuff that's been planned on the black people anyway. These things I'm telling you about is the population against the black people. So you can look this information up yourself and find out about these. This has to do with them trying to take out the black people. And you know why? Because they knew this time was coming. And this is why it's so important for a lot of us to wake up and get it together, and let's move. Let's move spiritually and mentally. so that we can gain the things back that we had, that our ancestors had. The things that we were kings and queens. We had rulership. We were none of us. I mean, everybody wasn't perfect, but when our first 144,000 original gods were on this earth, they were. They ate right. They knew what to do. They were really strong in their spirituality. They were not following behind anybody else's gods. They won't work. They was not worshiping anybody. They weren't putting their, after they say something, oh, in Jesus' name, or in the name of Yahshua, and all this stuff. Like, I'm not knocking anybody for what you say and what you do, because at the end of the day, that's your own religion. I don't do that no more. I don't give my power to somebody else, because I've been drained enough by giving my power and energy to people. Every day is a battle for me. When I walk out the door, it's a battle. I'm trying to protect my energy, because especially when you're chosen, you're constantly being tested. You don't really have freedom. You don't really have the life that you used to have. You can't just go to the store without 1,000 people following you and popping up where you are, staring at you, looking crazy. And, it's just a lot, or they do certain things or put certain things around you just to see if you are this type of person, or it's kind of like once that type of stuff don't bother me anymore. I act like I don't see it, because I'm on a different level spiritually. I've learned how to ignore a lot of that stuff. I don't let it affect my spirit and bring my vibration down, because I work too hard to bring my levels up. And that's how a lot of us have to learn how to move in our lives, period, before we even go out the door. Because it's not always bad. It's good too. You have your angels around you, your spiritual, guides and teachers and things. You got people that's there for you as well. It's a beautiful journey, but it's also a challenging journey, because it's spiritual. We are in a spiritual warfare. And it's like the survival of the fittest, and that's of the mind. Some people give up on themselves and choose to fall into the entrapment of what everybody else is doing, instead of being your own person and being true to yourself. Understanding the truth and moving in it. Understanding the truth as best as you can, because I'm going to say this. On this journey, you kind of get to the point where, okay, I had a hard time trusting everybody. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because it comes with the territory, man. You get deceived by so much, believe this, that, this, that. That's why it takes so much research. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the truth is gonna come out no matter what. And it's starting to come out. Black people have been looked down for so long. And it's unfortunate, because right now, every black person, whoever got a platform, should be your job. This should be one of your main responsibilities, to uplift your people, to help them snap out of it. It's not about causing division, separation, hate, all of that. That has nothing to do with it. It's about uplifting each other now. Unity, creating a one mind. Understanding who we are. Once those of us who find out who we are, then that's our duty and our job to let we're all family. Let everybody else know who they are. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. This is who you are. Do you know that? Do you know you don't have to lower yourself to that? Do you know you deserve better than that? Do you know we have inheritance? Do you know there's things that our ancestors have paved the way for us to be in now? Right now, I'm going to say this, because it's some challenges, but man, I wouldn't change this for the world, because I'm here on this earth at the perfect time. At the perfect time. And my purpose will be done. I will serve my purpose. And that's what a lot of us need to be doing. Everybody got their chosen things that they're doing. I try not to talk about nobody else's situation. I'm the type of person, I'm going to try to be as genuine as as possible. I'm not going to put any other deities or anything before myself, or I'm not going to look into something that's lower level over the creator. I'm not going to look at something that is more powerful than my DNA and my history of my ancestors. That's just not, I'm not doing it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these religions did not were tainted, changed by not just the white races, by the light races as well. And I'm not talking about blacks, light skinned blacks. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the lighter races that conquered us a while years and years ago. These religions were changed. And then we're picking up other people's beliefs instead of finding out, let me find out who I'm from, where I'm from, who I am, and about my people. What did our original ancestors do? What was their spirituality? How did they pray? What did they believe in? How were they so powerful? How were they so intelligent? How were they so smart? How were they so pure? But instead, you were taught that your people were stiff necked, hard headed, and all this and that. And we really carry this on to believe that about ourselves. We're in bondage. We're not in bondage. First off, we were outpowered. And this was allowed to happen for a certain amount of time. But now it's time for us to come back and reclaim our throne. And do things the right way. I was going to say something else, but I don't want to sound, because people are sensitive, and I don't want anybody thinking I'm like that. I'm racist and things like that, because it's such a sensitive world. It's just unfortunate how a lot of the things that the black people had gone through, nobody was this sensitive. But now it's like you got to be so careful. People want to keep throwing love at you, love, love, love. But there was no love when we were going through the things that we have been going through. But we are lovable human beings. Black people are naturally spiritually loving people. We've always been that way. Even when we were going through all the things we were going through, we were still loving people, because we could have been smartened up, clicked up, and handled some things. But we didn't. We were humble. We were humble beings. And now is the time where it's even more powerful for us to come together, love each other so much that we gain strength. And we don't care what anybody think about us wanting to uplift each other. I don't care. I don't care who it affects. If you feel that it's a racial issue, I don't care. If I'm not sitting on here dogging out another race of people, that shouldn't even concern you. You should be happy to see that black people are finally standing up for themselves and reclaiming their power, because this is something that needs to be done. We're put here to uplift our people. We're not put here to uplift our people and destroy everybody else. No, the only thing that's going to get what it deserves is the wicked. And that's whatever falls in the wicked. Whatever wicked system been running this planet for quite some time, that's what's going to fall. Whatever wickedness been enslaving black folks, beating all on black folks, keeping us in captivity, that's what's going to fall. So if you consider yourself part of that wickedness, that's your own guilt and conscience, because I don't get wrapped up in the racial stuff. I just keep realness. I speak truth. And I feel like right now, every black person with a platform, this is something that every black person should be doing. We can't keep sugarcoating everything, because we've won. And the more our people can wake up and see that we've beat the wickedness, and I'm talking about as far as the evil, dark spirit and forces that's been running this earth. This battle is up against good and evil. That's what it's about. Good and evil. That's who it's between, good and evil. Until we come to terms with this battle is against, what is that scripture? It's against spiritual wickedness in high places. You guys know what I'm talking about. That scripture where it says this battle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. It's not carnal. Carnal is physical. It's spiritual. We're in a spiritual warfare. The more people stand up for what's right, and that's every race of people, more people stand up for what's right, the better this world to be, the better your world to be. Break out of them chains. Be free. Take that fresh breath of air. You know, understand who you are. Start trying to get in change. We got to work on changing our diets and work on, going back to who we used to be. It's time for us to put love back in this earth. It's time for us, for our people who have been down for so long, to come back up. Our people who are drowning. Ooh, especially some of the things I see in Africa. No reason for the people there to be going through the things that they're going through when there's so much resources and that's coming up out of there, benefiting all these rich folks. But you got these people just going through some things up in there. Yeah, there's a lot of great, money and folks with money. All Africa ain't broke down and poor, but the areas that could use a lot of help, there's no reason it should be that way when Africa is the world. Everything comes out of there. All of the natural resources, the coal, the gold, all of that, diamonds, all of that. And there's no reason why they are going through the things that they're going through, but that's where we are now, because that will be no more. Africa is up next. So I just want to come through with this video. You can look up Rex 84 Global 2000 Behold the Pale Horse book. Search Protocols of Zion. And then look up, and Naomi, Project Naomi means, check this out, Negroes are only momentarily individuals. We got to start thinking. And this is what they've created to depopulize black people, because they trying to get rid of us. In 1969, a $10 million budget was created for Department of Defense to deal with a plan to depopulate black, Hispanics, and homosexuals. This is the stuff that they was on. And they still kept this bill. They still continue to do what it's not like it was a bill that, this is stuff we can look up ourselves. This was information, valid information that was given to me that I'm relaying. I'm sharing, because we need to wake up and see what's going on, because this is nothing new. This what they're doing now. They trying to take as many people down as possible. And black people, we need to stay away from it. Stay away from it. Because you have a purpose here. Everybody has a purpose. Let me rephrase that. But black people, you know what you're supposed to be doing right now. This is our time to rise up and be the chosen people that we are supposed to be, to make this world a better place and make the changes that is necessary. So I believe that was all that I was going to cover. I'm still reading that book. So far it's pretty good. Next video I'll be going over it. I've actually got another book also. Each book, I'm not going to share it until I'm done with one. I have a couple books, but my next video I'll be going over the book that I've showed you guys, which is let me grab it. The Black Woman, the Second Self of God. So far it's pretty good. I'm just not really into the It's a lot of biblical, religious stuff going on, but it has a beautiful motive, a beautiful, um, a beautiful. I mean, it's basically a good book because I feel like it's something very important, and it's something that is empowering. You know, it's a lot of truth in it, and I feel it's something that the black man and a black woman have to acknowledge together, because without each other, there's you can't be a man without a woman, and a woman is not a woman without a man. Both of you together, you have the spirit of a god. So we'll talk about that book more in my next video. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Healing Truth channel. I pray that you all stay blessed, stay prayed up, focus on your truth, focus on who you are, walk in your own truth and no one else's. Stay focused on your spirit and your mind. Clear your mind. Break free from the mental slavery. Don't be a prisoner of your own mind. Understand who you are and walk in that power. Have a good night, everyone.